Welcome to another episode of the Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast. I'm Darren Breyer, joined by Tyler McGurk. We're here August 22nd, 7:20 start time. Beautiful day out here. Other than the smoke that's been going on, unfortunately, there's some fires around California as usual this time of year. So Tyler, obviously dealing with that. Not too bad the last couple of days, or as bad it has been in other parts of our area. So we got that going on around here. I started PE this week. School started for my kids this week. What have you been up to? How's your family doing?
Family's good. We tried that little live thing. It went well for the most part, except YouTube wouldn't let us go live. But it was fun hanging out with you.
How was the soccer game yesterday?
It was good. He played well.
Yeah.
He actually does some things. I'm like, wow, that was pretty cool, actually. Like he's 9. He faked inside but left the ball without touching it, and he ran back to the ball before it was a weird little that was pretty cool.
Did you feel like they were actually pretty good at that age?
I mean, there's definitely some kids that still pick the dandelions and do nothing, but yeah, there's some spacing. It's not bunch ball anymore.
It's funny that you mentioned soccer because I was doing working with really young kids this week, and I was trying at first. It was the first time I had worked with young kids in a while like that, and I was like, okay, how am I going to keep them entertained for this, over half an hour? And so I was like, all right, I'll have them do zigzags or something like that, and they'll run from cone to cone, and then they start. And I'm like, all right, you're going to go one by one. And it took me 8 minutes, and I lost my whole voice explaining it to him. And then I say, all right, ready? When I blow the whistle, this line, the first people in line will go, and this line will go. And I blow the whistle, and literally 9 out of the 20 kids start running at the same time. I'm like, okay, maybe I just need to start with running 5 yards and back.
One kid at a time.
Oh, so that was kind of funny this week for me. I'll level there. And then I'm trying to coach Xavier's soccer team. I don't know if you've ever struggled with this. It's ridiculous for to do the city team here in Cloverdale. Mm-hmm. I'm just there's so much stuff we need to sign up for. It's insane.
You have to. I remember when my brother signed up to coach Connor for CYO, he had to sign up for sexual harassment classes. They had to do a full background check, and
And the lady, I feel bad for her. She keeps texting me, and I'm not an idiot, not as good with this stuff. And she, I go, I think I finished it. And then she sends me a screenshot of her computer, and it has 4 sections, and it has 1 completed, and the other 3 not submitted or not done. It's all right, I guess I haven't completed it yet. I haven't completed it yet. So, and then I have to get fingerprinted. So, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to coach the team on mid-season.
They're really making you earn it.
I guess so. So, what happened to the good old days? Stuff that went around though in the world before we get to sports. That Afghanistan stuff was pretty sad to see.
Oh, it's awful and just sad. It's it's not a political party you blame. It's just a sad situation.
Well, just the images, people desperately jumping on a plane, just for freedom. And then that picture of that cargo plane with 450 people on it. Did you see that?
Yeah, falling off 500 feet in the air.
Crazy stuff right there. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, like you said, where you stand. Just those images is kind of all I was kind of focused on, just the desperation of those people to get away from the situation they were in.
Yeah, and it's just a reminder how lucky we are. I mean, some of us are more lucky than others and whatnot, born into better situations, but you're not there. You can say what you want. You can at least have some sort of opinion for the most part.
I thought it was such a joke when the Taliban guy was like, yeah, we're gonna probably uphold women's rights. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's you know what I mean? I mean, it's just that's kind of, I don't know. We'll see what I guess what comes out of that. But that was kind of that was some big news this week for sure. So I guess it's kind of interesting. It will be hard for us to transition from that necessarily to sports here, but we're going to do it. And then we'll have Brian Montanez on. He's a good friend of ours. We'll discuss, catch up with him a little bit. He's a big Bay Area sports fan, especially the Giants and Niners. So we'll catch up with him and get his thoughts on some of the things going on. But one of our Bay Area teams made some news this week. Draymond and Kevin Durant came out with a 23-minute interview they did amongst each other. And it feels like Draymond is doing more and more media stuff. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he does TNT every time he gets eliminated from the playoffs or they don't make the playoffs. Are you sick of, like, what did you think of it to get started?
Well,
I think people.
Let me get into what happened and then basically he comes out and says, him and Durant kind of basically the way it was at least came out to me was, they effed up is what he said. And they were the reason that they split up. If they would have just let them basically handle it,
Who effed up?
it would have worked out. But the problem was neither of them were really handling it, and then the media's pressure on it before. I don't know. For me, I'll let you have your thoughts here in a second because I know you have your feelings about Draymond. But for me, it's more about just taking a little bit more personal responsibility. Even if maybe you feel a certain way, I don't know. I guess that's the part where it just didn't feel right. It's like you guys were the ones really arguing, and then these guys it was their job. So, I mean, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah. Kevin Durant's in the wrong too to blame the coaches and the GM. Like, they're just trying to fix something. Like, it's childish to be like, we're not going to fix it because you're asking us to fix it.
Yeah.
What type of mentality is that? I also believe that I don't think Durant ever liked Kerr, like, after a couple months in the league on the team. I think there was always like a little thing. And I think Draymond was like, let's put the onus on. Like, I think they had a conversation before. Like, let's fix it. We're friends now. So let's make us look good and fix this. And let's blame somebody else. We'll have this conversation to make other people look bad. We're not going to take any responsibility. Like you said, no personal responsibility. And then
it'd be like making a mess on the floor and then blaming the person that picked it up. They didn't do a good enough job.
Yeah, they ask you to go pick it up, and they're like, no, we're not doing it because you asked us. It's just childish.
Excuse me. Let me ask you something real quick, and then we'll get Brian on here. To me, it would just be better if the Warriors just ignored it publicly. You know what I mean? Just kind of went, I don't know. I just feel like for the betterment of the team, there's really no point in addressing it other than.
And that's what they've done.
When it comes up at media day. But just, I don't know, just, who Draymond is and just, I don't know, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Curry's going to say they're allowed to have their feelings towards something and blah, blah, blah. And Draymond gets away with. And KD does, but KD's not there anymore. So he doesn't care if he pisses off anybody. I don't know what Draymond Green's doing. It doesn't make any sense other than trying to get a job after your NBA career.
Doesn't he feel like the type of player that's going to be, he said he wasn't going to be, but he probably is. Like, you just feel like 20 years down the line is going to say some crazy stuff, like kind of like Pippen has and Rodman and just some of these guys.
And be like, oh, these guys aren't as good as our generation.
Well, just
like that guy.
Well, Pippen calling Jackson a racist, and I don't know, just like these kind of interesting.
Well, I don't know if I'm not going to go that.
No, but I'm saying, like, my point is, like, Green kind of has that tendency. It feels like that he could go somewhere like that. Is my point, because some of the, he's very outspoken. That's all, and it could be taken wrong.
I'd rather have him work on 10-foot jumpers so he could score 2 points in a playing game than practice his media credentials right now.
So we're on agreement that it would just be nice to see Draymond take a little bit more personal responsibility, and Durant too, for what happened basically in that situation.
Yeah.
Buyers, they're their bosses. I mean, you're at a workplace and you had a blow up. I mean, what do you?
But I don't blame KD for the argue. I blame him for blaming other people. I don't blame him for having a grudge against Draymond. For I'm better than you. Give me the ball. Why are you getting on me when it's not even close. Durant's top 2 player in the NBA at that time and even now. It just I don't know. And then he said some things that everyone agrees you don't say to another adult. So I just
and that's what's kind of different. But I think we'll see. We'll see if they end up together one day on the Nets together. We'll see if that happens. I think it's a big year for Draymond playing wise. So, all right. Well, let's get let's get Brian on here. He's waiting for us. We got a little A's Giants series to talk about. Get his thoughts on the Giants, Niners, and some of his other thoughts on some of the other teams going on here in the NFL. We'll be back. All right, we're back here on the Fatboy FadeAway Sports. As you can see, we're joined by our special guest down below there, a local legend here in Sonoma County, some people would say.
A lot of credit, dude. That's a lot of credit.
That's a big introduction. I don't know that far, but thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
This is my first pod experience, and get to chat with two airport club legends.
My gosh, you're being attacked over there by a dog. What's going on?
Cut that thing up.
They're a little jealous. I can pause it for a second if you want.
Let me get them. Hold on one sec.
Okay. All right, we'll be back.
Well,
Brian
put his dog. Hold on. Brian put his dog down in the backyard.
Sorry,
Shotgun blower.
Sorry, old Yeller was acting up. So
that was an exciting start there. I like it.
Yeah, they wanted to be on the pod too.
You got a little jealous of it. All right. Well, where were we there? So where are you at right now? Are you still living in Sonoma County?
I joined the dark side of Napa County.
Napa County. So you're over there.
Just me and the wife. We've moved from Santa Rosa to Sonoma to Napa. We're getting as far away from you guys as possible. No, it just, when you have dogs, clearly, it's kind of hard to find a place to rent with two pooches. So we kind of got the luck of the draw, but we have a really nice little spot here on the Napa River. Actually, like, we're literally on the river, so it's pretty sweet to explore a different side of the valley.
Nice. I was wondering if you were. It's tough here. It's tough here for sure. That's the toughest part of it for sure. We had a guy on from Tennessee a few weeks ago, and we were talking about a lot of people moving out of here to states everywhere from there. So I'm sure maybe you've considered the same thing at some point as well. Maybe not good, or not to at times.
I mean, I love California. It's hard to buy a house with our parents' income level. Back in the day, it was a little easier for them. Sorry, mom and dad, but you can't buy a home on one income at a grocery store anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll see where the wind takes us, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe Oregon.
Well, yeah, maybe. I was thinking, when Tyler was saying that you were going to come on, I was thinking, all right, when was the first time I met Brian? I was like, probably. I was thinking I was probably either through your brother playing Little League. Maybe I was thinking that possibly.
Yeah, I think that was it. And then I realized you were brothers with Casey.
Yeah,
I played a lot of basketball with Casey and Tyler and Airport Club legends over here.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw the Fatboy FadeAway in person.
Yes, exactly.
I never knew which way you were going with that shot, dude. I still don't know.
I gotta still show it here on the podcast one of these times. What's your brother up to? How's he doing?
Dude, Cody's great. I actually just saw him. We surprised our mom for her birthday. He was living in Kansas the last 3 years for baseball.
Okay.
College. Yeah. He was going to Kansas at Westland and playing ball there. And we told mom that he'd show up mid-August, moving back. But he came in a little earlier. We surprised her at Cattleman's. It was pretty great.
Hey, let me ask you a question real quick about him. How does he feel? How does he feel about Vaughn being in the pros and of playing against him? Does he ever mention that and playing with him? Does he have any thoughts on that?
Dude, we chat back and forth a little bit about Vaughn. I mean, obviously being a Larkfield kid and playing Mark West baseball. I mean,
on his all-star team.
Yeah, all-stars. I mean, it was Cody Vaughn. It was like they were like the 3-4, like 4-5 hitters or something. So
exactly, it's funny.
It's funny. It's cool. It's like, what happened to you, Cody? Like, what's up, dude? But no, it's funny because I don't know. I've been getting into baseball cards again,
Yeah.
And so I've been swooping up some rookies, getting some Vaughns, and like anytime someone talks about Vaughn on Instagram, I'm like, Mark West Pride, baby. But yeah, Cody thinks it's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a couple dudes he's played with who's seen some. I mean, no one's gotten to the show as quickly as Andrew has, but I mean, we've played with a few guys that have made it up there, and it's always fun to see guys, guys from your hometown be successful. And I'm biased, but Andrew's going to be a Hall of Famer. So.
That's kind of what me and Tyler would say too at the same time. I mean, he's been raking forever.
The dude mashes. I'd see him hit 250, 270-foot bombs at Mark West Little League that would roll to the backstop of the softball field on the other side. And the kid was 10 years old smashing 12-year-olds. So I mean, seeing him succeed at this level, it's hard not to be like,
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, my first
ahead,
meeting of Andrew Vaughn was when he was like Darren comes home and like I see him and he goes, "Oh my god, I just saw this 7-year-old hit these bombs like in minor B's." Coming on the major field, hitting doubles off the wall. It's like, you're making this up. Like, you're over exaggerating. Then I see him like when he's 9 and he hits like 15 jacks with. I was like, what the hell is this kid?
Oh, it's unreal. And the kid just drinks, sleeps baseball. Like my brother said after high school, like he would, see social media or talk to him a little bit. And the dude was just still baseball. Yeah. And it just shows that you need to have, all that focus to be successful.
Did he ever strike him out, Cody?
Probably. I don't know.
You should ask him that. You gotta ask him that.
I don't know how long Cody pitched.
He should. That'd be a badge of honor if he did.
That would be a badge of honor. I mean, I got to hit 5th behind Koamisi, so that's my claim to fame.
Okay.
And 12-year-old Oakland A's Mark West. Yeah. So Cody wins this battle though. He got to play with Andrew Vaughn. I mean, Koamisi sacked Tom Brady though, so that's.
I got laid out by Koamisi my senior year playing football. It was not fun. My senior pitcher, I had like all these like rashes on my arm from one hit by Ko. I was like, oh god.
For people that don't know, explain who he is.
He played outside linebacker for the Miami Dolphins. He's a big Samoan guy.
Big Sonoma County guy. Chose Montgomery High over Santa Rosa, but
what a shock. That can't be too surprising there. You got anything for him?
Yeah, you mentioned you moved to Napa. What was it like living in Club 28 where you have us hooligans, me, Frank, Santi?
That's where
Tell us some of the Club 28 experiences.
That's where we kind of all started this shit show.
Well, it started at Joe's a little bit, but after the first, our independence.
Oh yeah, Toby and the Trailers, our rock band.
Rock
stars, dude. No, it was good times, man. I wouldn't have changed my childhood for the world. Adolescence, growing up, Club 28. I guess there's pros and cons to being the first of your friends to move out. Yeah. I mean, it was cool being independent and having our own spot. But yeah, when you're at work for another 3-4 hours and you got friends showing up at the front desk of the Hilton being like, "Hey B, I got 30 rack. Where's your house key?" And it's like, all right, just, make sure nothing's broken when I'm off work. But no, I mean, it was fun, man. We had a party house. It was Santi and I, and like I would get home, I'd open that sliding glass door and you could hear the ping pong balls bouncing before I even got out of the car, it seemed like. But no, it was cool. I mean, a lot of memories, a lot of things you don't remember, a lot of funny stories. Darren Dorado going through my television.
No, that definitely doesn't sound pleasant, does it?
That one rings a bell. But the funny thing, quick story, the funny thing about that one, I won't say her name on the pod, but actually,
it's a Santana song.
Darren was picking up a football, and she decided to just like tackle him. And she tackled him into my TV, and I heard it all upstairs because I worked early, and so I tried to be semi-responsible. So I'm upstairs sleeping, and I just hear my TV just blow up, like, and I hear people like, shh, don't tell Brian, shh, shh, shh. And I go downstairs, and there's a hole. This is when TVs had the big box.
Yeah.
There was a hole in it, and I guess she wanted to tackle Darren through the television. But long story short, we ended up having a PG&E bill that we forgot to put in our name because of, adolescence.
Yeah.
And so I got the TV for free, but she didn't need to know that. So I told her, you could pay us back if you just, don't worry about the TV. I'm not mad at it. Just, can you pay our $400 PG&E bill that's back paid?
That's funny. Well, I bet Darren remembers that pretty well.
Darren remembers that through. I think it was an Edward 40 hands night.
I bet he remembers that very well. Back to that all-star thing real quick in the story you were talking about. Me and my mom often talk about you or she often brings you up quite a bit.
Does she? Oh, I hope it's for good reasons.
I get, you almost.
It's one incident.
You almost got her.
The incident.
Almost got her arrested.
I actually am remembering this incident now.
I guess you were heckling a 10-year-old right fielder. Apparently, maybe 9.
Okay.
This might be the case, and apparently the father was right next to him. Maybe not the brightest move on your part there. Apparently the guy got in your face, and my mom tried to, as she put it, stood up for you.
Your mom did not try; she succeeded.
Okay, you tell me.
Mama Breyer, she had my back, and I don't even think I had met your mom at this point. So that was a great way of meeting Mother Breyer. But yeah, so to give me some credit here, the dad was watching his own son on the opposite team side. I felt I was in a safe area to critique 9 or 10-year-olds. Okay, it was a safe place.
What you said wasn't really even that bad.
It wasn't that bad. I just said, like, God, you got to get that right fielder out of the game, because they were.
I think your exact words. It sucks to be that kid right now. They need to take this kid out or something. Just because he made an error or something.
I think they were picking on him because he had like 3 balls to right field, and he misplayed, I think, 1 or 2 of them. And you're an all-star, man. Like, come on. You got to make that play, tough love. And I was just, talking to my buddies.
And he's 10 now. I mean, you're right. He's got to be better with that.
I mean, he's got to be 20 now. Hopefully
what would Skip Bayless say about the kid?
I mean, hopefully he's somebody now, and he remembered that incident, and it was a growing moment for everyone.
I guess a police officer got involved, though.
Yeah.
A cop may have came over.
Do you remember Travis Pecorini? I believe it was his father. He came over, and I guess my mom remembers him being a complete asshole to her.
Douchebag. He was a complete ass.
So was that the kid's dad's dad, Travis Pecorini?
I think it was.
Maybe I need to write that guy a Christmas card or something. But yeah, your mom was just like, whoa, because he got all upset. He got a little closer. And I was a tall 16, 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Or however old.
I think you were older than that.
You want to make yourself younger than that because you were heckling a 10-year-old.
Were we that old?
I was like 19.
Was it like 6 weeks ago? No, it wasn't that. No, but I mean, my apologies to Tyler Pecorino and his father. If we need to talk about things later, I hope I didn't do any long-lasting damage to their egos. But no, get that kid out of right field. He was a liability. He was a liability. But thank your mother. Tell your mom.
Well, you're telling her right now.
I tip my cap to Mrs. Breyer. Haven't seen her in a while. I hope she's well.
That's funny.
All right, I want to talk about fantasy football real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then we'll get into the Giants.
Because you guys are in a league together,
Niners. Right? We have this league that is the greatest fantasy football league ever made, ever created. It's been going strong for about 12 years. Same people. You're in the league, Brian. You won this championship, and there was a picture sent out by you the last day you had the championship trophy. And there's a strict no defacing the trophy rule. And it might have had a little bit of your privates involved. You remember this? But you said,
go on. It's
well, I don't know how to describe this anymore without getting weird.
it's been a while. It's been a while.
You said there. I just want to know: did the privates touch the trophy?
Oh.
The facing rule.
Okay, so
You remember this?
I'm remembering now. This
Well,
is a hard hitting question. Now, hold on. Oh, my lawyer said I can't talk about this moment, but I do remember what you're talking about, and it's all about angles, smoke and mirrors. I never once touched my genitalia to.
Perfect. All right, you're clear.
Thank you, Tyler, for clearing that up for all of us.
But I will say,
football league.
I will say I'm the proud recipient of the last place trophy.
Oh, nice.
Last year, and I do have that in my possession, and I don't.
Do you really?
I don't want to deface that. Yeah, Darren came over. He brought it over last year.
Oh, I didn't even know it was still around.
It's around. It's
It is around.
It's long and around.
Use your imagination.
I thought we had to do a 5-minute stand-up with COVID going on and whatnot. We couldn't do it. You still have to do that?
I do. It's 10 minutes.
Unbelievable.
10 minutes? Holy shit.
I've been starting my classes. It's every Wednesday night.
Hey, let's take a quick little break here. We'll be back with to get Brian's thoughts on a few more things here. All right, we're back here on the Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast. We were going to get into the Giants and the Niners here for a second, but then Brian just kind of brought up something I wrote down as he wrote it, so I want to actually go back to it. Is you said that you were getting into collecting baseball cards again, and so I kind of actually want to talk about it with you for a second here, because over the pandemic, baseball cards and cards in general took a massive boom. I mean, they're just like completely up again to the point where if you're investing correctly, that's you can make a lot of money doing it. And so I'm curious, are you doing it for the sense of turning it over quicker, or are you doing it to like kind of save certain guys? Like, how do you approach the card game?
I mean, I like hobbies where you can kind of invest a little bit, yeah. I think I like collecting. Memorabilia has always been fun. eBay my whole life, I've been kind of looking at stuff, but you're right, like with COVID and things, a lot of like the collectibles kind of just skyrocketed, and I just kind of got a wild hair for baseball cards and some Giants, Niners, Warriors rookies again, and I kind of like the idea of like getting cool cards and throwing them on eBay and making a buck. I've been getting a lot of booster packs and like opening them up and kind of watching there's a lot of Instagram live like channels where they like just open packs for hours on end, and it's crazy the way it's come back, and the amount of value, like a Trey Lance rookie card like a month ago was probably like, if it was numbered or signed or a holographic, was probably like $100, $200 maybe, and now they're getting like $500-600. So like the hype on cards and rookies, it's pretty wild right now. But yeah, I don't know, my wife probably isn't so excited I've picked up another hobby, but
not a cheap one, bro. Yeah, I mean, you're making money on it. You gotta make money on it.
No, but like last night I opened up like 2 Shohei Ohtanis.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing numbered, but it's cool to get like the second coming of Babe Ruth in a random pack that maybe I'll hand over to my kid one day, or maybe I'll throw it on eBay one day. I don't know. It's been fun though. I actually saved a pack if you want me to open one up.
Yeah, as you do that, open them up and show some cards. Let me ask you some questions though as you're doing that, if you're good with that.
Yeah.
You mentioned that when you buy the cards, you try to get a turnover on them. So are you strictly looking for like rookie cards and sophomore cards? Because I had a buddy, Nick, that was really into it. And I always at first was thinking, you want to get the all-star guys. The guys are already all-stars. But he made the point that those guys are already at their plateau more, or the young guys, they have this unknown where people are willing to pay more for this weird unknown, which is kind of how you explain like big jump there with baseball cards. It's kind of odd to me that that's the case.
Yeah, it is kind of, it's like investing, right? It's like buying stocks. You get it the stock when it's a couple bucks, and then you hope in a couple years, it explodes and your Facebook stock's worth, a few hundred a share. But yeah, it's crazy. Like I got a card yesterday. I opened up and it was an Al K line, and I was stoked. But if I want to sell that card, that's probably a $2 card because it's a reproduction.
Yeah.
When I probably, I might want a Joe Adele card, a rookie from, the Angels, because he might have a great sophomore season or something, and then that card's worth money. So it's crazy the market goes if the player's good, but it's so exhilarating opening one of these silly little things.
What cards are opening? What pack are you opening here?
So this is a Topps 2021. It's a booster pack. You get 48 cards. Some booster packs, they'll have 7 packs and like there's 7 cards in each. I opened up an NFL pack. There was like 30 cards in it yesterday. So it all varies, but I'm really high on Topps, Allen and Ginter. And also they have this line called Gypsy Queen, I need to stop ordering.
Do those packs give you the little mini cards?
This pack has the mini cards in it.
Yeah, I bought a booster pack of Allen and Ginter a couple months.
So who are you hoping for here?
Lamont Wade, baby.
Who are you hoping for? Come on, there's no. Who are you hoping for? There's got to be something.
I mean, in here, Lamont Wade would be cool. I love some giant. There's some autograph cards in here. I mean, it'd be really cool if I picked up like a
Starlin Marte.
Like a Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
All right, now we're talking.
I mean,
how about Franco from the Rays? A Wander.
A Wander, yeah. I mean, a Mike Trout hollow. So I should be wearing my gloves right now, but I'm not. So don't hate on me. But we got an Andrew McCutchen.
Oh, that's worth a couple of dollars, right?
That's $1. That's $1.60.
Nice. Really fun.
Oh, we got something poking out here. Is that a mini?
That could be a little mini.
It is.
Oh, we got a mini.
I thought it was send it in.
Adam Frazier. No.
We got a Giolito.
Not bad.
Yes.
All right, that's bad. You got a young up and comer there.
I hate those mini cards. I was like, where do I store these?
They're easy to lose.
Yeah, they are. They're easy. We got a Ramirez. Oh, is this a Harold?
That's
an old Harold?
That
got an old Harold Baines.
Oh, Tyler, Hall of Famer.
He's a big argument on this show.
Yeah, me and Tyler have had big discussions. It's a random discussion we have about Harold Baines.
Harold Baines, the GOAT, right?
Tyler says he does not belong in the Hall of Fame. He says he's the worst Hall of Famer there is, outside of Tim Raines.
That's
and the shortstop for the Tigers. No, Tim Raines is the guy I really hate. Yeah, Alan Trammell, that's the guy.
Man,
but he's a great analyst, though. I mean, come on.
That's Harold Reynolds.
You're right.
A shark? Is that a shark?
Hey, so one thing about Allen and Ginter,
that? You got a animal?
One thing about Allen and Ginter is sometimes you'll get some sharks.
Is that worth it?
What do those go for on the market?
Is that worth more than the Andrew McCutchen?
I think it's worth more for me to type it in on eBay than it is like. We got a Dallas Crucial.
That's worth nothing.
Oh, you guys are gonna laugh.
It's actually a decent amount of cards.
Who the fuck is that?
Is that Andy Pettit? No.
It's Jason.
No,
Biggs.
That's the guy, the actor. Yeah.
It's American Pie, baby.
That's the actor.
Jason. What the heck?
So the one thing about these cards is you can get comedians, you can get pop culture icons. You can even get, I saw last night, there was an autographed William Taft card. And Taft is like I don't know my history, like the 20-something president. So to have an autographed like Taft card, I mean, you could buy it on eBay for $30,000 right now if you'd like.
Holy shit.
I don't know. So do those actually go for money? There's no way.
I mean, people will ask what they want to ask. I mean, I don't know if they're getting it, but you can check on eBay if people are getting what they ask for. I should probably send this into PSA. Maybe ask, maybe DM,
Get the collection. Get
maybe
Stifler.
DM.
You gotta get Oz. He has the greatest line ever. Greatest pickup line ever.
You gotta get the better ones out there, man. You gotta get the dad. I like the Jerry curl. You gotta get the dad out there.
Oh man, oh yeah, that's a classic, man. I think I
Hey.
accidentally watched that movie with my folks the first time too.
Yeah, my grandmother took me, so that was interesting. Hey, just real quick, what's literally the best card you have? Like you won't even sell it, maybe. It's just like the best card.
Charizard.
So the Charizard's up there.
That Pokemon?
I have a 1998 Charizard that I got at a flea market. I traded this chick like a Japanese Ditto. And
A what?
I was like 14 years old.
Did it vibrate?
Did it vibrate? I don't know. This girl, she said she had 2 Charizards and she's like, I'd like a Ditto. And I was like, all right. I handed it to her and I literally remember saying slap back, no trade back. Because back in the day, if you said slap back, no trade back, that just solidified your transaction. And so I remember walking back to the car like, wow, I got a Charizard.
What is a Ditto? Only Ditto I know is M&M Stand Ditto.
No, Ditto was that like
crazy.
It was that mold thing that just was like Ditto.
No idea what that is. Still,
my boys are really into Pokemon right now. I'm like,
oh yeah.
There's just like so many names in there. I'm like, my gosh, it's like coming up like I don't know. There's like there's so many crazy names in there. It's just hilarious to me that how long that show. I never was into it.
I probably have some cards somewhere in like a storage unit that's worth a fortune, but yeah, I stumbled across my cards because I've collected in two phases when I was like 12 years old and now when I'm 32. So like finding the 12-year-old finds was kind of a blast from the past because it was cool to see like what I thought would be worth money now. Yeah. And what I put into plastic sleeves, and it's like, oh, Brian.
Yeah, I have that with like
Kurt Manwaring.
I have like 5 Antonio McDyess's basketball players. I thought my best card's a Kobe Bryant graded. It's like a 9.5. It's a rookie, nice. But it's not worth like a ton. It's like I've only seen it like for like 120, maybe a little bit more for the 10. But
that's legit. I have a Griffey Jr. Fleer rookie that I got in like my 1991 box or my 1989 box, I think. Yeah, and that one's pretty sweet. I think it's like $200 on eBay. But
yeah, I haven't got back into it like that. I kind of just have a few that I've kind of just got here or there. But T, you got one?
My brother was more of the collector.
I was like, I don't remember
cards. He has like a 24 karat gold Cal Ripken Jr. card that like when he broke the record for most games played, he like bought all these specialty cards and he has like 100 Jordans, 100 Kobe.
Dang, that's cool.
He's hella smart. He invested in the right guys. What?
He came back after the fire to get the cards, right? I remember you talking.
Yeah, he did. He's like, I'm getting laid.
Yeah, no, living in fire country, you got to put your cards in your like go bag.
Your fire box there, or your go bag. That's funny. Hey, before we get you out of here, I got to get your thoughts though on a couple of Bay Area teams here. Are you more Giants or Niners if you had to pick one?
I'm a big baseball guy. Baseball
you're more
first.
Giants, right?
Yeah, I'd say I'm more Giants. It probably would go if I had to like rank them. It'd probably go Giants, Warriors, Niners, but it's a close 2-3. It's a really close 2-3.
You got to be surprised by the Giants year so far. You got to be pleasantly surprised so far. Then they killed my A's yesterday with just a shot to the balls with 2.
Well, I was gonna tell you, like,
my boy,
you need to lighten up because the A's aren't a bad team, and we need to win right now. So today, in a few hours, can you lighten it up because we need all the W's we can collect right now.
We're not even in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, but the Dodgers are a game and a half behind us, and they're just biting at our ankles right now. But yeah, no,
you guys.
I'm not really scared of them. I'm in Farham and in Kapler we trust. So I'm just
So you're a Kapler believer now. After last year.
I was a believer since day one. I mean, I didn't
Day
know much
one,
about.
like when they hired him, I was pissed. I was like, this
I
guy.
was well. I didn't know much about him. I can't get too upset over someone I
Yeah.
don't know about. First, I had to see like, does he have any
Tyler did.
sex?
I was pissed. I saw him in
What are
Philadelphia.
you
He's
saying about
terrible.
him, Brian? What are you saying?
Well, I mean, you also don't like Draymond Green, and I'm a big Draymond Green proponent. So
Did you watch the interview? He's a fucking idiot.
dude, he was asking those hard hitting questions.
They were all pre-planned.
Why don't you
Like,
have kids?
why did we not get along? Oh, let's blame the GM and coach so we could be friends. It's
I mean, yeah, you did kind of have to go back home and be like, oh, hey, what's up, Bobby? What up, Steve?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
but yeah, no, I don't know, but I mean, Kapler. I mean, I listened to your last episode or 2 episodes ago. I thought it was funny you guys were talking about Kapler could
How you
probably beat up any major league manager. The
Easily.
dude's an absolute unit.
Yeah, he
You
is.
see those forearms?
Yeah,
He's yoked.
yeah, and he's got a great. The beard's always, he has a great beard game for sure.
And I
Died to
hear his
perfection.
diet. I hear his diet. Like he doesn't put anything in his body unless it's like pure. Like I
That
don't
banana
know.
from a
steroids?
tree. What's that
Probably-
banana from a tree?
He probably drinks infant blood or something. I don't know. Whatever they're doing there in San Francisco, keep it up. I don't know if it's the hitting coaches, if it's Farhan, if it's the clubhouse, the old guys playing hot ball, whatever it is. I hope this team plays deep into October because
And that's where they worry me. That there's like Gosman. To me, Gosman, I always say is the only really they don't really have the pitching. So that's where if I was you and Tyler, like they have the pitching,
Webb's
but
been hot.
I'd be
Logan Webb.
concerned come postseason, right, Tyler? That you were the one saying
we talked about this enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pitching is just it's not
That's the
Lincecum,
only-
Kane, and Bumgarner.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of our only what if right now is like how is our pitching going to hold up?
Yeah.
Gosman's kind of hit or miss right now. His second half Gosman's not that zoned in. It looks. I saw a lot of pitches up in the zone yesterday.
Yeah, he was a little bit off yesterday.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I don't know. Cueto is he back yet?
Can't feel too confident with Cueto.
I don't believe in Cueto.
No,
It's
Cueto's
Webb,
What?
Descafani, Gosman,
I mean, look at Tim
and then Wood.
Hudson.
Those are
Look
going to
at
be the
Tim.
four.
Look at Zito. Look at Zito and Tim Hudson. We weren't high on those guys back in the day, and
Bogle song.
Yeah,
They came through.
I guess Giants do have a way of getting stuff like that done.
I mean, rally enchiladas. Remember, Tyler, rally enchiladas?
That was a great game 6 we attended.
Dude, we went to an amazing game. I think that game and a game I went with the late great Matt Hardiman. I've seen some really good baseball. When's
the last time you went to a game?
I saw a game during the opening month. I think it was like
you've been
late April.
Okay, so you've been since COVID and all that.
Yeah, it was like right when they allowed fans back. It was like the first month, so it was kind of weird. We were like in a section with no one else, so that was cool.
Yeah,
but it didn't feel like a Giants game. It was like I called it a Giants game light. It was a diet. It was a diet Giants game. There weren't a lot of concessions open. I couldn't even get a crab sandwich.
It was like going to Oakland.
Oh
yeah.
Stop it. Unnecessary.
Hey, are they staying in Oakland or what?
Do you care if they go or not as a Giants fan?
Do I care?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a Bay Area guy, man. I love
Tyler says he doesn't care.
Tyler's a douchebag. He doesn't care about.
Fair enough. That's fair.
No, I mean,
I just don't care about things that I don't care about. Why would I care about the A's or Raiders? Do I want them to stay? Yeah, sure. I'd prefer them to stay. But if they leave, I'm not going to be hurt.
That's true. I'm a tourism guy. I like the tax implications on tourism. I like seeing Oakland not be a shithole. And so having a sports
team is it not a shithole?
Oakland's kind of a shithole.
Yeah, it's still a shithole with a team there.
Yeah, but if you build this awesome oceanfront stadium and you do some things, I mean, look at the dog patch.
Oh, that would be cool. No, that would be cool if they built a stadium and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm for them staying. I want them to stay. But if they leave, I'm not going to be hurt.
Have you been to the new Chase Stadium, the Chase Arena, whatever?
No, but my mom went by. They said it's crazy.
Dude, it's crazy. In the last 5-10 years, like I wouldn't have wanted to walk in the daytime in that area in San Francisco.
That's right where AT&T is.
Kinda, it's in the hood.
It's right next to it.
It's a little bit up though. Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's the way you leave AT&T Park and you kind of went through the seedy parts on the way to the freeway. But like there's food truck areas and shops, and like I was blown away when Liz and I went. Like I was like, whoa, like there's some up and coming dog patch apartments. And I mean, I think it's cool to make it more pedestrian.
Yeah, you're right. It makes the whole like community a better place when you have a sports team with a
you just don't care about
like A's. Yeah, but like in 2000 you can't go to where AT&T was. It was
different. Well, Mission Bay was a different place down there for sure. And Derek was going through his medicine thing there at UCSF for a while, so I saw that stadium come up from the start to the end, and it's pretty crazy. Built a stadium in 3 years. It was pretty nuts.
It's wild, but
yeah, I can't wait to get out to a game or even a concert there.
You mentioned you're into tourism and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Right. You work in hotels, you do B&B, Airbnbs and stuff. You have any cool celebrity moments?
Yeah, I mean, I worked at the Hilton for a while growing up. I mean, that was fun. Rest in peace. Pour one out for the Hilton, man. Yeah, our friend Frank, our mutual friend Francis, he got me a gig up there, and we kind of ran the show for a few years. That was fun. We have some stories.
So we had our wedding reception in Hana.
Hey, there you go.
That was a good night.
I remember that.
We still have that bottle of champagne in our house.
Someone stabbed me in the nose with a finger.
Did you Yelp us, TripAdvisor? Did we do a good job?
I don't remember Yelping. I'm not a big Yelper, so I probably didn't Yelp. But I remember the story, Brian. I'll give you that for that.
Oh, good. No, but there was some cool celebs that came through there. I mean, we had Robin Big from the MTV show. That was kind of eye-opening.
I forgot
to learn that like their like TV is TV. Like they weren't even that tight. They're supposed to be best friends, but they lied.
Wasn't he like a security guard before the show? Like before the show?
Yeah, kind of. And then the producers were like, "Oh, this could be, this could get ratings. Let's make you guys best friends."
And now all they do on MTV is play ridiculousness.
Yeah. Do they even do MTV anywhere? Do they even do music? But you know who actually, you'll like this story. So I didn't realize it at the time.
Don't implement yourself or anything, but
yeah, I don't want to do that. But I've had guests ask for things, right? You work at a hotel at night, you're gonna get questions. Hey, how do I get this? How do I get that? And at 21 years old, you wanna help them out, and you might have a lead or two, right? So we had a gentleman come in. We had a performer coming in because of the Luther Burbank Center down the road, and it was the jazz legend B.B. King. And I didn't think anything of it at the time, but I had one of the bus drivers for the show. He actually came in after he checked BB in, and he asked me where he could get some California Fire. And I was like, well, who wants to know? I could probably find some for you. And I ended up finding some, and I coordinated it and everything. And the guy met him at McDonald's or something. And I like, when they were coming back, the guy was like, hey, where's a good place to park? Will you show me? Because it was a big parking lot. And I was like, okay. And I didn't really want to be too part of it because I just wanted to like show them how to get what they needed to get. Yeah. And so he was like, I got to repark the bus. So I get on the bus. He's like, just says, get on the bus real quick to better show me instead of walking down there.
Yeah.
And I turn around and there's some of the stuff that I just got them. And right there watching Sports Center with his cane, sitting down with a bag next to him, is
Yeah.
jazz legend BB King.
Oh, that's awesome.
Watching some Clippers highlights from like 2011. It's like, wait a minute. And so getting off the bus, and I'm just like, hey, so enjoy, let me know how it is. And he goes, oh, it ain't for me, man. That's for the king. And I was just like, did I just get for the, whoa, that was kind of cool. So yeah, I was the middleman for a transaction with BB King.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But yeah, Willie Nelson stayed. I had friends.
Willie was up there a lot.
Meet Willie Nelson. My buddy actually knocked on Willie Nelson's tour bus and showed him a belt buckle that his dad gave him.
Yeah.
His dad gave him a belt buckle that said 1979 backstage pass, and it was a belt buckle. And my buddy goes, hey, Willie, does this still work? And Willie goes, I haven't seen one of those in 30 years. Oh yeah, it works. He gave backstage passes to my buddy, and he got to smoke with Willie.
Were there tour buses better
should
than
be a
the hotel
Sonoma
rooms
County.
you were offering?
What's that?
Were there tour buses better than the hotel rooms you were offering?
Was there
As far
tour
as where to
buses?
stay?
Oh, their tour buses were cool. And Willie Nelson had a tour bus with, if you looked at it at a certain angle, it was two horses riding together. But if you looked at it at a certain angle, the horse was behind the other horse. Like,
Oh, okay.
Such a Willie Nelson move. But yeah, Willie actually, he didn't like staying in his room.
Pretty good hand gestures there, bro.
He couldn't. Willie couldn't smoke in his room, so Willie actually slept in the tour bus. Like everyone else in the band slept in the hotel rooms. That was
Pay
kind
for the
of
property. Pay for the property. That's funny.
He slept in the parking lot.
That's good. Well, Brian, thanks for joining us this morning. Tyler, you got anything else for the man, the myth, the legend?
Oh, thank you. I've known
No,
you
that was
for-
fun, guys. Thanks, Doug. Good luck to your pod. I hope to see it on KMBR one day. Maybe
Well, I don't know.
I don't want to go on the
We're gonna
radio.
own this thing. We're gonna own this thing one day, Brian. This is bigger than Cam.
We own it now. We're not selling it.
This
And
is
especially
bigger.
now with you making an appearance with those guns there, I expect the ratings to go way up today. So
Oh, you know what's gonna happen?
We expect a subscription from you first off.
yeah.
So I'm probably, depending on how good I watch myself and how good I've done,
well, at this point, the dogs might be the best part.
I might. They're a lot cuter. They're a lot cuter than I am. But no, I'm gonna share. You guys are gonna have some followers. You're gonna have subscribers. All you needed to do was put this face on your pod, and it's just gonna blow up.
All right, well, we'll see what the magic brings us here.
Yes, sir. Cheers, man. Go Giants. Let the A's. Let's
Be
go
there.
easy on us.
Yeah, easy, Tyler. Right, easy, Tyler. Thanks again, Brian. Appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
Brian.
Guys.
Later. All right, we're back with the other Brian that we know here. We told you we'd bring you a little NFL again this week. Brian, we wanted to have you back on to do the AFC part of our favorite players from each conference. But I first wanted to get into a few preseason things I saw during the week. Have you guys been noticing how many fights have been happening during training camp?
I've seen a lot of fights in the
even-
stands as well.
Yeah, I know. In the stands, like a Seahawks fan got knocked out by a Raiders fan or something.
And I saw a woman last night like slap this like guy in the
Steelers?
face, a black guy in the face, and then I think he actually punched her, and then he punched the husband. Knocked the husband out. The wife actually had a better chin in that one I saw. She actually took the shot better in that regard there. But but in practices, like the Raiders canceled theirs against the Rams. I know it's a common theme, but man, I guess they're really fired up.
They're excited to hit people.
What?
Yeah. I mean,
They're just excited to hit people.
Oh, I guess so.
They haven't hit anybody in a while. They get to see some fresh faces across from them, not just the same old teammates that you can't really go hard. You don't want to go at them.
No,
You get a little overzealous.
Well, thank you for those facts, guys.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things going on right now. So people are kind of maybe that's affecting people mentally or something.
I just, it seems like there's been a ton of fights been going on there. There was an interesting with the Browns and the Giants too.
It happens every
Yeah, it does.
offseason. Like, it's not like
Adams Patriots played well. Jones, the other rookie quarterback, he's definitely. I think Newton's getting the job. I don't really want to debate that part of it. I think he's going to be the starter, but Jones definitely looks not horrible. So maybe he'll turn out to be a decent pick.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Newton looked better than in week 1 of the preseason. So, but I just think Cam Newton will end up being the starter, week 1. So,
when Adam comes back on here, we'll let you save your hatred for the Patriots a little bit later with them there too. But Jones he's definitely playing a lot better than I thought. Tyler, I don't know. We'll see. They have more depth at least now at that position than they've had before.
Oh, for sure. I still don't think he's gonna be. I haven't seen him. It's all check down stuff. He has high percentages, but it's like yards per attempt isn't great. I don't know. I like to see it in the regular season. See him actually do it in real games. These preseason games are terrible. They're impossible to watch.
Peterman played the whole game for the Raiders.
Wasn't he going against like second string defense or third string? So
it's
tough.
It's
hard to, yeah.
What team do you think will regress in the AFC this year? That maybe was in the postseason last year or had a better season than you think? You think I'm thinking the Browns could regress.
Yeah, I think the Browns are loaded.
What do you think?
It just depends on Odell Beckham because when he's in that lineup, he seems to I don't know, Baker Mayfield feels like he needs to throw to him more instead of maybe getting to other guys. And I just don't think he's a good fit on that team. He's never a team guy.
I'm just banking on the Browns always coming back to the middle. They always have the expectations and they always come back. So I'm kind of with you, Ty. I think they're stacked, but I think they come back. We'll get more into the preview at the AFC and standings. Hopefully, probably next week. I think we usually try to do it the week before so probably in 2 weeks, right before the season starts. We wait for all the preseason football, as you said. Yeah, T.
I think the big issue
I would say that I think
Brian,
hold on, Brian, hold on a second. Go ahead, Tyler.
Thank you. I think the Browns' biggest issue is just Baker Mayfield. I don't believe in him. I would never I just don't believe him. We'll see, but I think
the like him,
roster around him is loaded because he's never had a great year where you're have you ever been he's going to go down and score on this drive?
I felt more confident about it than the last year for sure, but I'm with you. I think there's definitely some flaws there in his game which is part of the reason I think they could regress. Is he's not a guarantee. He's a little bit of a gunslinger, a little bit. Brian, you've always kind of liked Mayfield or Baker.
Yeah, I don't know. I was impressed with his year last year. I thought he had to have a year like that. So I think he has a potential of being a good quarterback.
Yeah, I just thought they're the team that I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on real quick before we do our take.
You say has a potential to be a good quarterback, but wouldn't you agree has a potential to not be a good quarterback?
Yeah. It's just he has these games sometimes where he throws too many picks, but I like how fiery he is during games, and he seems like he wants to win. So
he does show the emotion, which fans can relate to. So I think that it does. If you like that part of it, that you could like him for that reason for sure. He definitely feels like he's into the game all the time. All right, let's get into our AFC player things here, then we'll get out of here. So last week we did NFC favorite players from those teams. This week we're gonna do AFC. Let's start with
add the new addition to it.
Huh?
You want to add the new addition, whether who we thought Brian owed the jersey on or not this week?
Why don't as we go, we can kind of do that as you think they have a team there stands. If you kind of remember a jersey there. All right, let's start with the AFC North. Tyler, you have the Steelers. Who's your favorite player from the Steelers?
Oh, the Steelers are one of my least liked franchises in all of football.
Yeah.
And the guy that just sort of changed football is Cordell Stewart. So I went with Cordell.
There right there. Brian, you had the Browns. We just talked about them. Who's your favorite Brown of all time?
I know it was
Tim
at
Couch?
the
Yeah,
bigger
his
end of
jersey.
this. I would go with Bernie Kosar. I mean, I
Birdie.
Yeah.
You saw
Weekend
Birdie play?
at Birdies.
Oh, come on. You gotta have
Did you ever
somebody.
see him
I
play?
can't really, like, the Browns were so bad during my generation. I can't think of anybody else.
How
What
about
about
Tim
Joe
Couch?
Jurevicius?
Baker Mayfield.
What?
Joe Jurevicius? Nick had the big tub.
Kellen Winslow Jr. Dude, they're there.
All right, Bernie it is.
Ryan came up with Bernie Kosar, people. Wow, that's unbelievable. All right, I'm gonna go. I have who do I got from the north? I don't have anybody from the north. Let's go back to you, Tyler. You got the Bengals.
I went with clock killing Corey Dillon.
He was an animal there for a few years. He was the only good player there on the Bengals. All right, I had the Ravens actually. Ravens, I'm gonna go with obviously Ray Lewis. I mean, he was just an animal, different specimen on the Ravens. They've had a lot of good players. That was a hard. Ed Reed was obviously on the list as well. So probably one of those two. Or it's hard not to go with them as
a Raider fan. Did Tony Siragusa cross?
Oh, shut up! I don't want Tony Syracuse. That's horrible. All right, tight. Let's go with the AFC South. Tyler, you got the Titans.
I went with Keith Bullock. He's my favorite user linebacker of all time at Madden. So I went with Keith Bullock.
I remember Nick Flanagan would run the slants with Drew Bennett. You get those slants, those little 5-yard slants with Drew Bennett all the time. I'm like, damn it, starting slants there. Titans had a lot of good players to choose from too. Actually, Javon.
Yeah, I almost went with Eddie.
They had
but no.
McNair. To me, he's who I would have chose. He's one of the most underrated quarterbacks there. Brian, you got the Colts. Tough one.
I gotta go with Peyton Manning.
Not Endrin. I thought you were gonna go with Big James. I know you were. I thought because you liked him too, right?
Yeah, I also had one of his. I had this Colts jersey.
That's one of the ones you had.
You are a big University of Miami fan. That you could have kept the tradition alive.
Exactly.
Tyler, I'm gonna let you get a shot at this one after me, just because it used to be one of your childhood teams, the Bills here. Thurman Thomas. No, I'm just kidding.
My favorite Bill of all time. It's a tie between. It's the same position. Was Eric Moulds and Peerless Price.
Peerless Price. He was Eric. Yeah, they were kind of the guys on those teams for sure.
Yeah, with Bledsoe and I don't know who their running back was. I think it was
They didn't really have a strong running back.
Yeah,
they had Lynch there for a few years. Who had Brian?
You gotta go with Rob Johnson.
Rob, a fruit with the headband.
Rob Jackson. Dolphins, Tyler.
Hold on, let's get back to the Bills real quick. One of the most disappointing moments of my young sports life was when Flutie started the whole year and they bring in Rob Johnson for the playoffs against the Titans, and they got exactly what they deserved, and they got
that was very
the miracle in Tennessee.
That was very disappointing there, especially like you said, he played the whole season. It didn't really make sense. It was like the A's trading Cespedes a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have the best lineup, you trade your 4-hitter. All right, back to the Dolphins here.
Me
Marino.
again?
Yeah, Marino.
No, the Dolphins. I went with my favorite college football player of all time, Pat White.
Pat White.
It's another franchise I've never rooted for the Steelers or Dolphins. I don't think in any game.
The Dolphins are one of those teams that are just kind of they're a weird team. I don't find myself rooting for them a lot either.
Like I bet Brian never owned a Dolphins jersey.
No, I did not.
It's hard to pull off the teal and orange.
No, he did not. He did not. All right, back to me with the who are we? We're on we went to the east there. All right, let's go to the I have the Texans in the south, so that was an easy one for me. Deshaun Watson, that was great. JJ Watt and Andre.
He really enjoys those massages.
But I'm gonna go with Andre Johnson over JJ Watt. I liked Andre Johnson a bit more. So
another University of Miami shout.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm surprised I never had his Texans jersey.
Jaguars, it was down to Jimmy Smith, Frank,
Taylor.
gosh, help me with his name, Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor, thank you, and Mark Brunell. Those are the three guys I went to, and basically because of just watching the wild card games early on when they went on that little run. But I think I'd have to go with Jimmy Smith just because he helped me more in fantasy football during that era, and he always seemed to have 100 catches every year. So I'm going to go Jimmy Smith, slightly over Fred Taylor.
Him and Keenan McCardell made up a good little duo.
They did. They made up a very nice one. All right, let's get to the AFC West, right? No, we got everybody. Yeah, let's get to the AFC West now. Brian, you got the Chargers.
I have to go with LaDainian Tomlinson.
The Raider killer. The killer. I mean, he had a game where he rushed, caught, and threw one.
He was guaranteed 30 points against the Raiders every week.
Not even close. You're right. Guaranteed.
He had Napoleon Harris chasing him down. There was no match.
In his prime there, if the Chargers had the ball within 4 yards, like they were scoring a touchdown with him and Lorenzo Neal at fullback. Like 2 year span, like he was scoring a touchdown every time there for sure. Brian,
that was the biggest question mark in that divisional playoff game against the Patriots. Like, why do you start slinging it down the field in the second half? They should have just kept going to LaDainian.
They did have the Patriots beat on a late interception by Brady, but someone forced a fumble like on the interception return, and then the Patriots ended up kicking a field goal to win.
Patriots always have that crap, man. Every time, like Tim Brown or with Troy Brown, his name, they always have like these special plays or something. All right, Tyler, Chiefs.
I went with Priest that'll touch little boys' hopes.
I thought they were going to go.
He had that LaDainian Tomlinson thing too when he was on the Chiefs, where they just had Brian Waters and just a dominant O line and Willie Rope.
He was kind of like remember because Dick Vermeil went from the Rams to the Chiefs, and he kind of did he was kind of like But I remember he wasn't looked upon as their starter at the beginning. They had somebody else. And because he wasn't even picked up. I picked him up in fantasy.
That was in Baltimore, I think, where he wasn't a starter.
Yeah, but I think he came over as the Chiefs, but he was splitting time with somebody at the time. And then week 2, he established himself, I believe, against the former the football team, we'll say. And he kind of took off from that standpoint. And when he took off, he was unreal for about 3 years. Also a Raider killer for a few years. He was doing Marshall Faulk things like catching and running at the same time. All right, I got the Raiders, but I want to save them for last. So, Tyler, let's go back to you for the Broncos. Brian, you also, I'm curious to get your favorite Bronco as well.
I went with Brandon Marshall.
Wow.
I remember when I saw him his rookie year, and I was like, this guy he's baby T. He's going to be T.O. And he didn't turn it. He wasn't quite as good as T.O., but he had like a couple of years where he was just as dominant as T.O., and T.O. was good. He just was something special.
Brian, Bronco, real quick.
I'll go with Clinton Portis.
Another University of Miami guy.
As long as you guys didn't go with Terrell Davis. That was the guy I would have been mad about if you guys went with him, Terrell Davis.
Another Raider killer.
Still shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. All right, Raiders. I'm gonna go with it was a tough one because a lot of the Raiders guys are old when they come when they're good, and then they're there for like 3 or 4 years and then they leave. There's no like one guy that's been there too long other than Timothy Brown. So I think Tim Brown was the obvious choice for my favorite Raiders. I saw him score a lot of touchdowns on the Raiders. My favorite one being when they beat the Niners in overtime. Rich Gannon throws that beautiful ball over his shoulder, Brian, at your house watching it. End zone, up in the air, looking you in the face and saying, yes. Do
you remember the setup to that game? How they got that? Gruden kicked a field goal on that overtime. Gruden kicked the field goal on 3rd down and they missed, and Gannon just chewed out Gruden. And then the Niners went down and missed the field goal. And then
and I also remember you guys beating us one time in Oakland when you guys had Jose Cortez as a kicker. And we had Sebastian, I believe Cortez missed like a 26-yard field goal. So the game went to overtime. And then the Raiders missed a field goal in overtime that you guys ended up coming back and winning. I just kind of remember that one being a heartbreaker as well. So Tim Brown, and then I got thrown a couple other, Rich Gannon was in there. And then my kind of random one, that played for both teams, the Niners and the Raiders, Charlie Gardner. I gotta say, I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's a
He's
good
got a-
running back.
I like
I
him.
thought
a lot.
I thought Charles Woodson might get a mention.
I ripped on Woodson a lot. I found myself always hating on him. I always wanted him to be. I always felt he got hurt there towards the end of his tenure at the Raiders.
I think he stopped trying as well.
He wasn't as good. He wasn't as good. And I mean, I was at the game. I could literally isolate, watch him, and he was getting beat a lot. And but one of the coolest Raider moments I do have is his rookie year, or maybe it was the next year. The Raiders ended up losing to the Chiefs at the end of the game on a field goal, 34-31. But in the middle of that game, he catches a 75-yard tip interception to go up against the Chiefs, and that place was rocking. That was like one of my most favorite, because the Raiders are a bad defensive team. They don't get many of those in my life. So that was.
He later went on to win a Defensive Player of the Year award in Green Bay. So it wasn't all out of juice.
And I always remember him for the roast of that Norm Macdonald gave at the ESPYs. Remember
What
when
he
he
said?
bringing about the Heisman, and he's like, it was like right when O.J. Simpson was had to give back his award, and he goes, oh, we got an award here, Charles Woodson, the Heisman winner here. You'll get to keep that thing for a very long time, given you don't murder your ex. That's what I was like.
Wow.
You should listen to it. It's very funny. It's on there. The crowd is not a fan of it. Yeah. So Brian, that's the AFC maybe next week or the week after. We'll start getting into standings here. The first game, September 9th. So we'll definitely do a preview here soon. Kind of give our picks like we did the year before. Casey, we'll have him on hopefully maybe for something like that again, Tyler. And he actually was the best at picking last year, the team. So
Yeah.
have him back on. He had the Browns and the Bucks. So he's probably the guy we should have back on for it as well. So Brian, we'll have you on here shortly, my man.
Okay, cool. I did have to make a note. The Ravens won another preseason game, so that's 19 in a row.
Thank you for continuing that. They're almost at the A's record of 20. Can they do it? Can they get to 20? That's got to be like one of those stats that like literally does not matter at all. It's just like one of those like crazy like stats like that, like the A's randomly beating the Giants like 13 times in a preseason year or something like that. So, all right, guys, we'll talk to you next week. Peace.